Listen up, cluckheads.
You're listening to Whiskey and Whine
With Rooster and
The Madman, where we talk about common sense, current events,
the Constitution and
morals, while comparing drinks of yesteryear to drinks of today.
so sit back, relax, leave us a comment.
Here comes Whiskey and Whine.
Welcome back, cluckheads. You know who we are, what we do, but you're going to be listening to Rooster the Madman here, so.
Constitution, current events, common sense, and morals. Yeah, they're in there.
Yeah. So, it's episode 9.
We have made it to 9, and our fine selections tonight were brought to us by the Mad Hen.
Thank you, Mad Hen.
So, what is our bottom of the barrel tonight?
Well, Madman, our bottom of the barrel tonight is going to be actually one of my cheaper go-tos.
It is Miller High Life.
Miller High Life.
It is Miller High Life, the champagne.
I believe the word you're looking for is champagne.
Champagne of beers. That's a bold claim.
That's a lot to live up to.
That is a
We're gonna
lot
find
to
out.
live up to. So, about it, we got it. I mean, it's a pretty generic bottle.
Yeah, I mean, my only point on it's real glass. That's stepping up right there. I mean, we've yet to have one of our lower ends an actual glass.
That is true.
But it's clear, so there's no preservatives in it, and that means it's gonna degrade quicker.
Oh, it is. Yeah, didn't think about that. This is one of the reasons why we have the amber colored bottles.
Correct.
Let's see. Established in 1903. This was brewed here in Texas.
Yeah, Fort Worth.
Yep. So and you can take it to get 5 cents refund in Indiana, Vermont. I'm assuming that's Maine, Connecticut, and Massachusetts, Hawaii, New York. And you can get 10 cents for it in Michigan and Oregon. And then we have the California CRV.
And what is CRV?
The California refund value. So you could take it in, like, say, on Tuesday, and it might be worth 15 cents. Or you could take it in on Wednesday, and it might be worth 2.
Flipping California, always trying to be different.
Yeah, it's just some more stupid California stuff. We've talked about it before.
Hate that.
So, all right.
So, you know what? Do the honors. Open it up, man. Let's hear it.
Let's hear it. Here we go.
I'm pretty sure you don't need the bottle opener. It's a twist top, but
Yeah, but
you want to feel fancy.
I want to make it where that it sounds good.
Okay. Yes.
You know what? Stop harassing me.
It wasn't too entertaining. It's got a little foam going there, so
It's got some foam.
Yeah.
So let's open everybody's. It's twist top, so y'all can just do it yourself.
Oh no, I got the wallet that has the bottle opener built into it.
Oh, that's
Let
professional.
me get the Mad Hens for her. So she's nice enough to get it.
Okay. So we're all open. Let's do the sniff test here.
So Biden test.
The Biden test.
Wait.
It doesn't smell like a 19-year-old girl.
It smells like beer. It
really does.
This is not at all like the other cheap beers that we've smelled.
We have another one of the ringleaders in here tonight, and he's just kind of
one of our crew members.
Nobody's making weird faces.
All right, so it's good.
I mean, it smells like a beer. Don't taste it yet,
dude. You always get me on that one.
I know. We got to pour it.
Oh yes, sorry. Luckily, that didn't have anything in it yet. All righty.
It literally just looks like a.
The color's good, man. I mean, the foam's nice.
It looks like a ballpark beer.
Yeah. All right.
Goes good with hot dogs and.
All right.
Now let's go to the Dallas Blonde.
All right, Dallas Blonde. Still not allowed to taste it for some reason.
We're not allowed to taste it until we start. It's the same rules every week, and you know this.
I hate these rules.
Hey, Mad Hen just made a very good point that it's bubbling like champagne.
Well, that is why it's the
champagne of beers.
All right, so Dallas Blonde, it's in a can, but it's pretty rad.
This can is actually really cool. It looks like old school Deep Ellum.
Yeah,
I'm not sure what this character is on the front of it. It looks kind of like an animal.
Well, I think it's kind of like it does. It almost looks like if Dr. Seuss had been drinking some of this and then kind of drew the artwork up.
Pretty sure you meant Dr. Moreau.
Tomato, potato.
But no, the artwork on it's super cool. I mean, it's kind of funky like Deep Ellum.
Yeah, I mean, and it is brewed right here in Dallas, Deep Ellum, so that's
here in
awesome.
Dallas.
And
this one's 5.2. The Miller is 4.6. So it's a negligible difference, but it's a difference enough that
it's a little bit. I will notice that one of them actually was proud to pronounce they were 5.2. When the other one you needed a magnifying glass to actually see what the alcohol content on it was.
Well, that's a good way.
You want to open the can, or you want me to open it?
You know what? You do the honors. Right, you go ahead and open it.
Here you go, listeners.
Oh, Daddy lies.
That sounds sexy.
Oh,
all right. Let's give this a little pour here.
That one kind of shot out a little bit.
Oh,
got excited.
The foam is very different now.
The coloring's different too.
Yeah, it's got almost more of a citrus color to it, But it does say that it's citrusy. So
yeah, it's almost like the
foam. Yeah, it's got a lot bigger head of foam on it than.
He said bigger
head. No, I've been told that's user error on my part.
Yeah,
so.
the Mad Hen has informed that is user error.
Appreciate that.
So the coloring is way different. This one looks more like what I would consider to be a traditional beer. This one looks like it's water with bubbles with. It looks like urine.
No,
it looks like
the champagne of urine.
It's the champagne of urine. Okay.
No.
Okay, the Mad Hen has also pointed out that y'all couldn't understand which one I was saying. This one being the Miller High Life, the champagne of beers, it looks like a bubbly urine. Whenever you compare it side by side to the deep Dallas Blonde.
But I mean, there's a nice price difference in it too. So
well, yeah, but I mean that's the whole point of why we do this, so that way that we can warn the others of what not to buy.
Okay, so
we're sacrificing our health. So you don't have to sacrifice yours.
Sacrifice for the greater good.
It is the greater good. I'm the greatest good you are ever going to get. All right.
Do we get to taste now?
Let's taste and go into topics. So here we go.
We need a drink for some of these topics.
Here's to the Miller High Life because we keep getting gold mines of topics.
I like it.
Did you just say you like that?
Yeah, it's my go-to when it comes to cheap stuff. I don't always have money.
I need to send you to a different go-to because you also said that there was something else that was like your go-to that was just, it's not okay. You are a successful adult. You don't have to drink. You don't have to drink the champagne of beers.
Hey, man, years ago at King Arthur's Court in Grapevine, Texas, when that place was still open, you could get a case of Miller High Life for $11 in long neck bottles.
And there is a reason for that.
Yeah, and the guy was so cool, he'd be like, hey, man, you want a six-pack for the road? You want to keep one in the cab?
Back then, you could drink and drive as long as you weren't intoxicated.
Yeah, it's finer times.
Finer times.
All right, so let's...
and the timer started.
Yeah, so our first topic for the day, it's got to be the first topic, is Biden versus Putin.
Okay, so first off, I love the fact that our president had to carry flashcards with him for talking points.
Well, to be fair, the flashcards, when Trump was president, met with Putin had flashcards, but he felt it was unnecessary this time.
Well, there was a reason why it was unnecessary this time.
So anyways, they met in Geneva for a battle of the wits, and in case you want to know, everybody lost. We all lost.
Yeah, everybody lost.
We all lost.
It's really sad whenever two of the most powerful people in the entire world get together for a talk and literally you walk away from it. Not only is everybody lost, but you kind of feel like the bad guy ahead in the topics. It's whenever you take into consideration that whenever Putin was put into power, he was president for 4 years.
On the first term.
He's supposed to be there for 4 years. The Pope is elected for life. He's lasted longer than 3 popes.
Well, maybe he was sent by God. I don't know.
We're on a mission from God.
Sent by something. But he used to be the head of the KGB too.
Yeah, the KGB. That's something else right there. So for you kids out there listening who don't know what the KGB is because you're too hip and too millennial or whatever. I don't know what the term is. But so the KGB, that was kind of like our version of the CIA, their hit squad, secret police, all of that all rolled into one. It'd be like if our CIA was, ruled by Darth Vader.
I'm pretty sure our CIA is ruled by Darth Vader. It'd be more like if their CIA was ruled by Jabba the Hutt.
All right. So on that note, the highlight of this meeting was the cyber attacks. And Joe, I mean, he was stern, man. He gave this dude a warning. He gave him a list of 16 vital targets to our infrastructure. He couldn't name those 16 afterwards.
Did he name the 16 to Putin?
He gave him a written list of the 16
He gave him,
the most vital.
Okay, so he gives him a list of 16. What did he tell him to do?
He made sure that he knew that these targets are completely off limits. So, don't go after these 16. Those are the 16 you can't touch.
So you can't touch these 16. You know what? What do you do if you're 17? I mean, literally, how does that make you feel if you're 17 on that list? Well, who is 17?
I'm pretty sure number 17 is our Texas power grid run by ERCOT. Sorry. Joke had to be made. But yeah, number 17 is screwed.
Number 17 is screwed. So far inside this administration, we have Kerry who gave up Israeli
200 operatives.
200 operatives. And now we have President Biden that literally handed him 16 targets.
Well, I'm sure.
But don't you touch them. Don't you do anything to it.
Oh yeah. Comrade, I certainly give you my word. Wink, wink that moose and squirrel not touch those 16.
Kind of makes me wonder if Putin's going to if he retires. You know how they always get invested in something else. If he's going to invest in cybersecurity.
Yeah, I think so. And I'm sure he's a man of honor, and he's going to take that list of 16 and keep it to himself. Maybe put a little safe in his palace or whatever, because he's considered the richest man in Russia.
Like a little sliding door that has like a secret compartment. Please be a secret door. Please be a secret door.
It just hurts, man. It just hurts.
All right, our timer has just gone off.
All right, so
thoughts on the Champagne here?
The Champagne. It's an inexpensive beer. It is not the worst inexpensive beer I've ever had. That still retains with Steel Reserve.
It is nowhere near Steel Reserve.
No, and this one did not stink the studio up.
I was going to say this one didn't stink,
and it's not rusty colored water.
No, it looks like a beer you would.
It looks like a ballpark beer.
Yeah, it looks like a ballpark beer. Nothing fancy.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say that it's a Champagne of beers, because whenever I think of champagne, I think like perusing around the Russian embassy, eating caviar with champagne with Putin. Not telling me 16 different targets.
Your champagnes are very different than mine. I think the last time I bought champagne, it was New Year's Eve at a gas station.
The last time I had real champagne was on New Year's Eve, and we had gone out to support some friends' bands at a local place called O'Reilly's, and they were giving out free champagne for the night. And it came in a high-quality Woodbridge plastic bottle.
Oh, God, Woodbridge. There's nothing quality. Nothing quality.
The ball's counting down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year! We smelled it and went, oh no. We clinked. We took a sip and just went, no. Hey, thanks for the champagne. Throw it in the trash can. Oh, it was so good. We just drank it all.
Yeah, that's terrible.
It was absolutely horrible. All right.
So let's move on to another one before we get into Deep Ellum's Dallas Blonde. So
what's the other one?
So we've got another one, or do you want to do some follow-ups? Which one? Your call there, Madman.
You know what? Let's go ahead and do topic number 2 while sipping on the Deep Dallas Blonde.
All right, cool. So let's
here we
get
go.
the sip in there first, then.
Clinks.
Clink.
Oh, that's good.
That's really good.
That is really good.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, timer started.
All right, timer has started. So, for those of you guys who don't know, there's a reporter out there named Christopher Stein, and he's recently died.
Are you sure he's died, or did he? Was he suicided?
Died, suicided. Again, tomato, potato. It really depends on how you want to look at it. I mean, it sucks because the dude's dead, and and here it is. We're going to make a little bit light of the whole situation, but it's a scary situation. If you don't know, he's the reporter who broke the story over a secret meeting between Loretta Lynch and Bill Clinton back in 2016 at an airport on the tarmac, and I believe it was Phoenix. And the reason she
was the attorney general at the time.
Yeah, that's the reason this is a big deal. She was the attorney general, so she was in charge of everything related to the Hillary Clinton email scandal as she was running for president of the United States, and they wanted this scandal to kind of go away. And this is absolutely an inappropriate meeting. These two shouldn't have met. And of course, their story was to the world when they got caught was, oh no, we were just talking about grandchildren.
On the tarmac.
You held up the whole airport.
You held up the whole airport to talk about grandchildren.
Yeah, nobody believes it.
Oh, I believe that. I completely believe that because I don't want to be suicided.
Yeah, so this guy had all kinds of death threats and everything, and he had to move back to Alabama to be, kind of be someplace where he felt safe with his family. They even had like safe words for his kids and stuff like that in case anything ever happened. Well, again, he was found dead, and I don't even know how many bodies that puts on the alleged Clinton body count.
It's got to be over 50 at this point.
Yeah, I tried to look it up, and to my amazement, I actually did not know this, which was kind of funny. There is a Wikipedia page out there called Clinton Body Count. And it lists all these people. Here we are laughing at it, dude. It's horrible.
We have the Mad Hen that's actually fact-checking that.
Oh, it is, man. It's
out there.
And Christopher Stein is on there. He's the newest addition.
He's the newest addition?
Yeah, he's the newest addition to it.
It's probably going to be updated because did you hear the most recent thing with that?
What's that?
The police department is investigating the suicide. So on that note, it is so sad to hear about so many investigators committing suicide next Wednesday at 10:24 a.m.
Oh, that's horrible, man. But it seems to kind of because with the Clintons, sadness just seems to follow them everywhere. These people are always so sad when they're involved. I'm sure there was at least more than one incident of some guy who was just very sad and he was out jogging in the woods and then he decided to shoot himself in the back a couple of times, because
there was the one guy that apparently was going through depression that was sitting on a park bench in broad daylight that his life had taken such a downward turn that he shot himself in the back of the head twice while sitting on this bench.
Well, one time doesn't really get it done.
Well, no, you want to make sure.
Twice. So. Yeah, that's
in the back of the head.
That's
the way to do it.
Yeah, but check out the page. It's pretty interesting. And it's out there. Clinton body count.
That's a conspiracy page, though. Don't forget.
Well, if Wikipedia is a conspiracy page, I guess. We're not talking WikiLeaks, which I think is the guy you're talking about was in trouble for talking to before he killed himself in the back of the head.
I'm just trying to cover my ass because I don't want to get suicided, so I'm saying it's a conspiracy
I
page.
in no way, shape, or form, as Rooster, believe the Clintons are involved in any shenanigans when it comes to suicide.
You're a shenaniganizer, Rooster. You're a shenaniganizer, and I ain't going to have any part of it.
I believe that as much as I believe as Epstein killed himself.
He did. At the same time that there was a random power outage with the videos.
The guards are all asleep.
And
they're all in witness protection now or something crazy.
It's something crazy like that. But yeah, I don't want to be suicidal. Oh, timer has gone off. I will have to say I really enjoy the Dallas.
It's far
Dallas
better.
Blonde.
It's better.
It's far better.
I'm not giving up my take that High Life is a good, inexpensive beer, but it's not as good as Deep Ellum's Dallas Blonde.
But you know what? We haven't gone back yet. And you know what?
Oh, I got to do that.
We have to go back now and do the side by side.
So
no. So Mad Hen just brought up a very good point. You can see through the High Life, the Champagne beers, urine, and what? Sorry, that was a Biden slip. You cannot see through the
it's a quality beer.
It's a quality beer.
It is a quality beer. So thank you, fine folks at Deep Ellum's Dallas.
Yeah, clear winner on this already before we even get to the very end. The one thing that we have noticed, and we brought it up the past few weeks, is that after comparing the two, that afterwards we get like a heartburn and that we can always taste the cheaper one, which was the case last week with the mead that we did.
Correct.
initially we had talked that the mead was actually pretty good. It was a mid-level mead.
Yeah, by the time we finished the second bottle, it was just.
And by the time that we got through it, and we were already off the air at that point, we both just kind of looked at each other and be like, no.
It didn't hold up.
It didn't hold up. And then later, I don't know about you, but kind of like whenever it's Halloween and you eat too much candy and you get really bad acid indigestion, I ended up getting that from the Bit of Honey Texas Renaissance.
Yeah,
mead.
but I mean, we talked about this. The lower stuff seems to always kind of attribute.
So I'm kind of wondering how bad this one.
I guess we'll find out.
Is going to give us heartburn.
We'll find out.
We'll find out together, and
Yes,
we'll talk about it.
We will. We will.
Time.
All right, so let's segue into some follow-ups rather than a third topic. We owe some people some follow-ups that we've done on previous shows.
All right, your timer started.
So the first follow-up is Kamala Harris. I really don't like this woman, but I'm going to keep talking about her because she's going to keep screwing up. So, Vice President of the United States, for those of you who don't know, it has been 85 mother-clucking days.
What was that again?
85 mother-clucking days since she has visited the border, and she is our border czar. But you know who is going to visit?
I read about this. So, yeah, apparently June 30th, Donald Trump, the former president number 45, he's already, I guess, scheduled a meeting with Abbott, and they're going to the border together.
Correct. The pressure is on. It's going to be huge.
So it's going to be huge. It's going to be huge. It's going to be the best border visit of the history of border visits.
So I'm assuming.
So here's my question: do you think that the only reason that he's doing this is to put pressure on the current administration, showing their incompetence with the border situation?
Well, you know, it is that. But
one of the ringleaders over here just said, yeah.
Yeah, so I really think, but it's a multifold thing, because Abbott wants to finish the border wall, at least in Texas. He can't do the whole southern border, but he can at least do Texas.
But now about that, a part of this new thing is that they've approved that you can do private funding for the wall.
Correct. If you remember back during the Trump administration, and they were when they were worried about the money, there were some GoFundMe pages, and they all got shut down. Well, the courts have ruled that you can raise private money to go to a government program like the border wall. So they're going to go down there. They're going to talk about that thing. So I think Trump is, even though he's not president, he is bound to show people he's going to finish what he promised when he did to begin with.
The other thing too is that did you hear about Governor DeSantis from Florida?
Yes, I did.
I mean, it says something that the states have so little confidence in the border czar and the way that the current administration is handling the border crisis. And it is a border crisis at this point. There was actually several places where that they had come across the border illegally and had actually stolen medications. And I didn't find that out until tonight whenever I was talking to a former FBI informant, which we will just leave their name as Yippee-Ki-Yay Mother Clucker. So anyway.
Hopefully no Clinton.
I don't want to be suicided. So anyway, it shows something that whenever the rest of the states are saying no, there's a definite border crisis, and Florida decides to send law enforcement to Arizona and to Texas to help alleviate what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. It's kind of like when they were sending National Guard troops to all the border states under the president's request for assistance on that one, and that's not happening anymore. So now the states are just kind of taking it upon themselves to do it, and some states are going to take care of it, other states are going to kind of look the other way. I really wish that DeSantis could give us a little bit more help, maybe with the power grid. Think you could send some of that power grid stuff out to us?
Oh my gosh! Oh, ERCOT!
Oh, ERCOT!
Okay, first off, it will be a cold day in hell whenever I set my air conditioner to 82 whenever I'm sleeping. I can promise you this right now. I don't know how many people you're going to have to send to turn my air conditioner back up, but I know how I can defend it. If you really, really, really want to try to mess with my air conditioner whenever I'm sleeping, come and take it.
Good old Texas saying, come and take it.
Our timer just went off.
So, we had a couple more follow-ups, but we can, I'll just squeeze in real quick.
Yeah, let's just squeeze them in real quick.
So, Abbott has signed a constitutional carry law, and we talked about that one. So, it takes effect on September 1st. So, I mean, that's a real quick one. It's there. It's law.
It's there. It's law.
And it's going to start on the 1st. So, awesome.
And a quick thing with that ERCOT joke is that remember during Snowvid 2020 that they said, well, the power grid was designed for the extreme heat. That
Not
wasn't
2021.
Or 2021, sorry.
You're drinking too much High Life.
The Champagne is getting to my head. And I'm just still trying to forget 2020. So they said that, that it was designed for the Texas heat. It wasn't designed for that type of extreme cold. We haven't got to the extreme heat yet.
It's only June, man.
It is June.
And it's already failing.
Get it mother clucking together, ERCOT.
They're never gonna get it together. I wish they would, but they're not. At some point, I think the feds are going to be forced to come in and step in and do something as far as take Texas's own grid, because we're the only state with its own grid.
Yeah. And it had the potential to be amazing whenever Governor Perry put it in order the first time.
Yeah, and you talked about during the Snowvid. One of the things that came out light during the Snowvid deal was how many of, if not all of those ERCOT board members don't actually live in the state of Texas. They just became like the power grid barons of the old robber barons. It was ridiculous.
I will say this: if the power grid goes down, I don't care where I'm at. I am going to drive, and I'm going to find Ted Cruz, because he sure as hell is not going to take a vacation with his family to Alaska.
Dude, he's going someplace nice and cold.
Maybe Moscow?
Yeah, maybe. Who knows? Maybe he's number 17. I don't know. I don't know.
All right. So, winner?
Oh, it's Deep Dallas. I know we called it early, but it clearly is Deep Dallas. So thank you, Deep Dallas, and and the Deep Ellum Brewing Company on that one. So you guys have really, really done a good job with that. We missed something.
One of the members over here of the ringleaders had said that it looked kind of like Tammy Faye Baker on the front of the can.
Dude, it's less scary. Well, yeah, maybe a Muppet version. Maybe a Muppet version, but way less scary than Tammy, rest her soul.
I don't know. Is it less scary?
Well, the eyelashes, they're only about a quarter the size of her face. I think Tammy Faye's were at least half the size of her face.
Possibly. All right. So quick shout out to our sponsors here.
Yeah, so we always have our many thanks to Deep Dallas Radio. And Deep Dallas Radio is a great radio station, and they help launch a lot of people, get local bands heard. Specific thanks to one of their shows, Locked and Loaded with DJ Shane Guns. Specifically, he airs every Saturday between 1 and 5 p.m., and you can hear
Overlord.
The Overlord. The only thing you got to really remember about his show is stay out of the dungeon, and you'll be in great shape. But you can hear us there every Saturday at 4.
If you do go into the dungeon, make sure you use Dungeon Master 100% natural coconut oil.
Yeah, there's no substitute for a good oil.
If you don't use the coconut oil, it'll be prickly on the inside.
I'm sure there's a lot of Steel Reserve and Kentucky Deluxe to go around in there. So again, thank you, DJ Shane Guns. And again, you can hear us every Saturday at 4 p.m. on Deep Dallas Radio. Locked and Loaded is the slot that we air in. Also want to give a quick shout out to giftedchicken.com, all your home beard, bath, and body care needs.
Veteran-owned and operated right here in North Texas.
Yeah, right here in North Texas. Not a slight to the rest of Texas. It's just we're here in North Texas. So that's the way it works. I don't know where ERCOT is, but, I can tell you where giftedchicken.com resides. So, again.
But the most important thing is to remember.
In a world full of chickens, be a rooster.
You're listening to
Whiskey and Wine.